Hey, good morning, everyone. Joanne here. I've had some friends ask me about what it took for me to leave my career and start my career as a coach. And so in this video, I am talking about two important things that you need to have and you need to consider before making the change into becoming a coach. So this also can work for any industry that you're looking at switching. This is about really what it takes to switch and change your career and make that change. So first I want to just give you a little bit of my background and how I managed to leave my career because I was in a career of 20 plus years and it was a great career. I loved it. I owned my own home. You know, I was always able to pay my mortgage and my bills and look after my kids. I was a single mom. But really, the decision happened quite quickly when my 6-year-old son was diagnosed with cancer. And so before that, I was still, tossing the idea back and forth of leaving my career because what I had realized after going through the year of chemo with my child was that even though I had a home that I loved, I was able to pay my bills, I wasn't quite fulfilled. And after going through a life-altering experience, such as your child having cancer, it really does get you to think more. And so I wanted to be able to, spend more time with my kids because I understood the value of time. Having time with my children, more time to be there for my kids. And as well at the time, I realized at that point that I had hit a ceiling in my income, that in my career, I would never make any more money than what I was making. And that, I didn't have the money to take my kids on trips to Disneyland or do things like that with them, that I just was living paycheck to paycheck and I had become the working poor. And so at that time, I decided to leave my career. I knew that if I became a coach, that I would be able to provide way more value for people. I just felt like I wasn't giving enough to my clients, that there was so much more that I could provide for them, and I wasn't able to do that in my career. And so I wanted to make that decision to become a coach, to be able to offer more value and be able to give way more for my clients. And also I knew that I would be able to make more income than I made in my, 25-year career as a counselor. And so I made that switch. But there are two things that need to happen first. And, the one thing that I hear the most from clients is that there's a fear of leaving their job or their career because there's this big uncertainty. There's a lot of uncertainty around will they be able to do it? And what I always tell people is there's two main things that you need to look at before you do that, before you make that decision. And one is to commit to it. It's just like if you want to quit smoking or if you're going to quit drinking or go on a diet or, change your eating habits. People usually have a date that they're going to start. And when you have a date and when you put it in your day timer, you see that every day. You also talk to your friends in your circle about that because it holds you accountable. It's now you've told that information to people. You're telling people you're leaving your job. You're going to start your practice as a coach. This is what you want to do, and now you're getting that out there, and you have to hold yourself accountable for that. So those are the two main things, is one being the commitment to yourself and writing it down in your calendar, in your day timer, and talking to your circle. Because truthfully, we get in our own way, and we're the reason that we prevent ourselves from moving forward. And trust me, I know how scary it is. It was one of the most terrifying times of my life, knowing that I was going to quit my career, sell my home, and actually for myself, I took my kids and moved to a tiny town in the mountains. I didn't know anybody in this town. I didn't know what there was in terms of work or medical professions or stores or services, any of that stuff. And that was a really scary thing. But for myself, it was more what made me commit to that was the fact that I had a life altering experience. And not everyone has those life altering moments. But the biggest thing is for yourself, if you are questioning whether you want to leave your career or not, you've already answered your question. Because if that's something that consumes your thoughts and something that you think of all the time, there's a reason for that because you don't feel fulfilled. You feel unhappy. You feel like there's more that you can do. There's more you want to do. You want to be able to provide more services, give more to people because you know that you have that knowledge and that wisdom and that desire to help people. And those are reasons why most people want to quit their career and become a coach. And whether you're becoming a coach or whether you're going to start a baking business or whether you're going to become a process server, um, have a cleaning company, whatever it is, you're making a decision to leave the career that you're in now and to change careers and to change that direction. And it is a very scary thing. But you already know that it's something that you want to do because you think about it. So again, the first step is making that commitment. Just commit to a time. Say I'm leaving by this time. Um, Marking that down in your calendar, on your daytime, or talking to your friends about it. I would also spend time visualizing. When I was making my move to this tiny little town, I did take a trip. I packed up my kids, got in the car, and drove out to this town and spent time in the town. Going to the restaurants or cafes, the coffee shops, talking to people, just really spending time in the town. So I had a visual picture of what it was like. I could feel what it was like being in this new place, new home for me. And then when I came back and I was working, I would be able to constantly visualize myself in this town. And so once you have that commitment, now you need to have the mindset. Because again, the number one thing that prevents people from making a change from career into a coaching practice or some, other practice that they want to do on their own is themselves. Because they have a lot of questions on, how will they get the clients? How will they manage their mortgage? How will they um, get clients? All of these things. And I'm here to tell you that it's all possible and that it's not only possible, but there's so many opportunities right now on the planet to become or do anything that you really want to do. And the biggest thing is having the desire and the passion for wanting to help others, to be able to be of service to others. So, looking at your mindset and changing that. So, it's as simple as getting out a pad of paper and writing down all the thoughts that you have around becoming a coach. Look at those thoughts. Look at the beliefs that you have attached to those thoughts. Because chances are that somewhere in within us you have a belief or that normally we tell ourselves a story um, or a thought such as I how can I make it as a coach? I can't charge money for a coach to be a coach. Whatever these thoughts are, you've created a belief around that. And I challenge you to challenge those thoughts and to replace it with a more positive thought. Again, there is nothing stopping you or preventing you from leaving the career that you feel unhappy with and becoming a coach. And there's nothing. And there's so many opportunities and so many possibilities. It takes resilience, it takes just taking that forward action, a step every day, and being creative. But more so, it takes a love and a passion to want to get out there and serve others. So, really examining your mindset, examining on a piece of paper all those thoughts that you tell yourself. What are the emotions around those thoughts, and then replacing those thoughts and beliefs with something that's going to serve you in helping you to move forward. That's all it is. It's those two steps. And again, for myself, I just took the jump because, again, knowing that I would be in this, if I stayed in the career where I was at, I would still not have the kind of time that I needed and wanted to give to my children. If my child got sick again, I wouldn't be there because, when you're in a 9 to 5 job, it's exhausting, right? Especially if you're a single parent. So for me, it was just the mindset of that's it. I need to be able to spend time with my kids and give them the kind of childhood that I had and the opportunities that I had as a child, and there was no question about it. So, it was a matter of selling my house and finding another house where I lived or where I moved to and making the move. So, committing to yourself, assessing and having a look at your mindset, shifting your beliefs and the stories that you tell yourself, and spreading that wonderful news with your circle. That's all for today. That is the very basics. Those two things are going to get you to be able to get started on making your transition from your career to the coaching industry or the industry or job of your choice. So, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to talking to you next time where we'll go even deeper in starting a coaching practice. Have a great day, everyone.